This is the Shopify AMA for August 26, 2025. Hello, my name is Matthew Herschel. I'm coming live to you from Guelph, Ontario, Canada. We're going to dive into a bunch of questions today from the Shopify forums. I'm going to put a little link in chat here. If you've got a question for me, you can drop it in the chat. Today we're talking all about paid versus organic marketing, what it is, what to expect. I'm going to actually put two of these things in here, which is sweet. If you want to use the chat feature in Twitch, by all means, I'm going to prioritize answering questions in the Shopify AMA board. If you have trouble asking a question, I will happily help. But the chat in the Twitch is fun as well. If you want to shout it for where you're coming from, just kind of give us a sense of like who's joining us today. That'd be sweet. It's a super friendly environment. Over the next couple of hours, I'm going to be answering a whole bunch of questions around paid marketing and organic marketing. Firstly, I'll introduce myself. My name is Matthew. I own a digital marketing agency. I'm one of the owners of a digital marketing agency in Ontario. We do a ton of stuff in the Shopify ecosystem. We've been Shopify partners for, I think, 8 years now. So we've been doing this for quite some time. And as a marketing agency, we help businesses of pretty much all sizes sell product all over the world. So that includes building Shopify stores, marketing campaigns, budgeting, building creative, putting sales and stuff together. So pretty big wealth of knowledge here. Like I said, if you've got another question, there's a few on the board here that we'll get to. Happily jump in. Greetings, yes, first time chat. If you have trouble hearing me or anything, please let me know. I just checked my audio before I started and it sounded great. Let's dive right in. I'm going to just flip this over. You'll actually see how we do this. Sweet, I'm in the board. Musa, question, how to make meta ad campaign that converts in low or medium budgets, how to structure your meta campaigns for better results. Okay. Very interesting question. So how to make your meta campaigns convert with low and medium budgets, and how to structure your meta campaigns for better results. So very, very straightforward questioning in terms of what we're used to. We're going to talk a little bit about what a meta campaign actually does. Okay. Two types of different advertising. We've got discovery and we've got in-market. In-market and discovery. Meta handles discovery. Google handles in-market. So I'm going to explain both and then I'm going to explain to your question. So when I use the internet and I search for food near me, great, and it's going to display all the restaurants close to me, I'm in market for food. I'm telling the search engine, I'm telling the ads platform, I'm hungry, I'm looking for something to eat, and it's only going to deliver things back to me that are related to food. Cool. When you are scrolling through Instagram or anything in the Meta universe, I'm not searching through Meta for food. I am scrolling my phone and I'm looking at my contacts and birthdays and events and there's a whole bunch of stuff, and typically I'm on like entertainment time. And then there's an ad that's injected into that time. That is discovery. Sweet. So there's a very good chance that I'm just watching my favorite comedian or a cat video or someone make me a sandwich or something like that. I'm not interested in your ad at all. That's what Meta delivers. So they deliver a discovery mechanism. Google and other platforms just deliver a non-discovery mechanism. They're doing something that's in market. I've given the Google search or a platform a prompt. I've given them a query. Cool. So for low and medium budgets, I would take the dollars out of Meta. Most small businesses have a very difficult time with Meta, and I would go capture the low-hanging fruit. People that are already searching for what I'm selling. I want to go get them first. Great. I want to go get the people that are already searching for the stuff I sell. I want to get their attention. Now, what happens if you're selling something novel? You're importing something, you're making something by hand, there's not a lot of search that's around your specific things. Great, we need to go back to Meta. No one's typing in the name of my product or searching for what I have to offer. I have to go to a discovery mechanism. Very difficult to do. So what the best thing that I would recommend doing is focus on traditional sales through your Shopify store. Have your Meta account and your Shopify store linked. Work on your traditional marketing, in-person selling, things like that until you have enough of an audience. Import that audience into Meta and run a lookalike campaign. And that lookalike campaign is going to use the initial targeting, the initial data that is surrounding the people that have already purchased, and it's going to go out into the platform. It's going to find other like users. That's what's going to happen. And then right out of Meta, you can actually, literally called a lookalike campaign. You can set it based on a percentage of how many people you want to target. Lookalike campaign. Essentially, in real world talk, that's a retargeting campaign. You are going back after repeat customers. You are going back after customers that already have a positive, that you think already have a positive, something positive with them. So rather than using their targeting tools, focus on in-person selling, focus on traditional selling first, and then build the lookalike campaign. So everything with small business, we need to focus on those early and easy wins. So how do I structure my Meta campaigns for better results? I want to mix traditional marketing and I want to mix paid. That's what I want to do. I want to focus on the things that I'm already good at, and then I'm going to bring that data out of Shopify into Meta and then tell the platform to say, go find more people like that. That is how I would do that. Now, converting with a lower medium budget. Okay. This is also a challenge with Meta. I now need to stand out in a sea of awesome. Everything on Meta is shiny. All of the posts are funny. Everything's, hitting the dopamine center of people's brains. It's all trying to happen, and Meta is just trying to keep people on platform as long as possible. Cool. Your content needs to stand out. It needs to have stopping power. I'm scrolling on my phone and it needs to go, oh, what's that cool thing? So I need good creative. I need a very powerful image, better yet, a video. I need something that's going to actually hold my attention for longer than 2 seconds. And that's gonna come down to the creativity around you as a business owner or you as a product owner. And you're going to have to say, what is going to get people to stop and say, hey, I want to either learn more about this thing. That's gonna be different for everyone. So besides the store, besides the conversion metrics on the store, the ad needs to convert people into potential customers. It's hard to do. I will say that it's hard to do. It's very difficult to actually stop what you're doing when you're in entertainment mode and stop watching the funny cat video and then go, oh, I need to buy that thing, and then have your credit card at the ready and want to make that purchase in real time. You're going to need multiple touch points. You're going to need to do a whole bunch of things to get that person to get from zero to all the way to purchase. So again, for small businesses, I'm recommending go after the low-hanging fruit. Go after people that are already interested in your stuff. Please, please, please capture that market, make some money, collect a bunch of data, and then go after things that are harder to do. And that is definitely going to, one, it's going to refine your data set. It's going to have you having a bunch of more positive touch points with potential customers. You're going to have much earlier results. It's going to cost less. There's less risk. There's a whole bunch of things there. So like, there's definitely that. So that would be my advice for there. How this is going to work is after all this, we are going to chop up all of this video segment, and I'm going to end up posting a little bit of a written answer into the forums along with the actual video clip of that answer here as well. So if you weren't able to join us today, that's where this is actually going to go. So all of your questions are probably going to get responded to with the actual video clip from this conversation probably early next week at this point. So sweet. And again, if you've got more questions, keep throwing them in the thread. I'll put the link to the thread in again. I think it's at the top of this chat. I'll drop it in a second here. The next question's Aloha Merchant. Okay, we are a soap and candle business hoping to gain more exposure through our customers sharing content about us on social media. What is the best ways to encourage this kind of exposure? Okay, great question. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, so soap and candle business, sweet, we're trying to user-generated content. We're trying to get people to generate content about our products themselves, and we're trying to get them to share our content on social media. Okay, cool. There's a few ways to do that. We're going to get into the big, easy one. The big, easy one is we are going to go into the market, and you've probably heard this term before, great artists steal. Great artists steal inspiration. So I want you to find another brand that is in your industry. They could be located anywhere in the world, and I want you to look at what they're doing. I want you to find a working model to say, what are they doing? Did they run a contest? Did they buy something specific, and did they run a contest that says, post this with a hashtag on this, and you're entered to win a draw around this? And was it fun and exciting? Did they create a shareable moment in terms of like an unboxing experience? Around, great, I just ordered a bunch of candles and soap and it comes in a fancy box and it's like really beautiful and it makes me want to like do a thing. The most recent one that I was part of, that like personally part of, I bought, I can't remember, it was one of those mattresses. It was a Casper or an Endy or whatever, and it comes in a box and like there's a card and it's like, hey, you're gonna want to have your camera out for this because it's really cool. And you like unfold it and you film it and like it turns into a mattress and they're freaking sweet. And they like primed me in terms of like, hey, you're probably gonna wanna actually do this. Make sure the mattress is where you want it before you unbox it. And they like completely just gave me the instructions on like creating a cool thing. And I did, I shared it with a couple of my friends. I was like, oh yeah, check this out. Like you wouldn't believe that there's actually a king size mattress in this little box. And it's a great product. So like they primed me with a, get your phone, this is something cool, you're probably gonna wanna do this. Did I share it online? No, but I did share it with some friends through text message, which is like, again, I'll take that as a win. So one, priming. Two, creating the moment for that to happen. If I can't create the moment for that to happen, I have to make excitement somehow. So typically that's with giveaways, contests, you could do something where it's like a meet and greet with people. You could do something where it's a collaboration around like, we're gonna have one lucky person come in and like help us make the next scent for our candle. Something where I'm gonna get people excited. In the real world, restaurants, theme parks, they create like those themed walls. They create like, there's like, it's the beautiful aesthetic wall and there's like the angel wings and the balloons and everything like that. And people want to stand in front of it and there's normally like a hashtag off to the corner and they're creating a moment. They are creating a moment for people to share. They're going out into the environment. They are making that happen. For if you're only an online business, it's hard to do. You don't have any physical real estate to have someone come in and create that moment. So your unboxing experience needs to be incredible. I need to prime them, so like a postcard, some kind of verbiage in the box saying, here's what we're doing. The packaging needs to look great. I'm gonna need to make people want to share. So typically that's done through some kind of promotional activity. But like I said, go into your industry and find another working model and take inspiration from it. Most small businesses have this much budget for innovation. None. We have no budget for like crazy new risky things, and that's okay. We're small businesses. You need to go out, find out what's working, sign up to their emailing list, look at their social media, look at the stuff that they're actually doing, and then apply that to your own business. So I don't know nearly enough about like what kind of soap and candle business you're operating in terms of, are we at the high end, are we at the low end, what are we actually known for, organic stuff, whatever. That's where I would be looking at that. And that's the organic side. The paid side is, I'm looking for an influencer. I'm looking for someone like a pseudo celebrity, someone that I can afford that's gonna go do some product promotion for me, that they're gonna go and actually gain that exposure and they're gonna wanna have people posting with them. I would say do it yourself before the influencer route. So do it the organic way and build business that way. So it's a good question. That would be like, and again, you can do that purely organically. You don't need to spend any money with Google. You don't need to spend any money with Meta. It's like, I would rather give the value back to my customer through like product promotion, in terms of like the person who gets the most X and Y gets product, and build hype that way, rather than I'd rather give value to my customer rather than give value to Google for this type of thing. So very, very good question. I'm going to drop the link in here again. If you do have a question, there's the link. I'm just putting the link in chat. You can sign up there. You'll need to be logged in. You'll need to have a Shopify account. Great. Cool. The next question on the list. Let's go through this. Canvas. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Murray 3. Okay. I've done 2 Google ads for my new shop focusing on specific product collections. Setting up, to put it politely, is a huge learning experience. It takes 5 days for the ad to become published, and whenever the slightest change is made to my ad, the ad becomes dormant for 5 days until the learning is finished again. Help. Okay, super common. There's actually John, he's got a decent answer here as well. I'm gonna expand off of that. Okay, Google Ads, yeah, they're a little bit complicated. I would say, you're going to need to rely on someone to help you out a little bit here, making sure that your conversion tracking is in place. So there's a couple of tools that you're going to actually need here. One is a Google Ads account. Awesome. You are going to want to have Google Tag Manager, which is another free product from Google that actually tracks conversions on the Shopify site. So like what clicks actually led to a sale. At the same time, you're probably going to want Google Search Console. I know it's less of paid and it's more organic, but I'd rather have that working as well as Google Analytics. So I need the full suite of Google product. They're all free working, because if I'm going to spend money on that platform, I want the most data that I can possibly get. You've done 2 new ads for your shop focusing on specific product collections. Okay, fine. Typically, we're trying to, so the first things first, product collection, perfectly fine depending on what you sell. The goal of paid ads, if we have our sales funnel, I'm trying to get that individual as far down the sales funnel as possible. So it is few clicks. So if the collection's the best page or if an individual product might be better, totally fine. We don't want to send people to the home page. We don't want to send people, we want them to click the ad and then the most relevant page to the ad we want to send them to. So if that happens to be a collection, that's fine. The way that Google works is we give Google a bunch of targeting, a bunch of geographic targeting, a bunch of demographic targeting, a bunch of behavioralistics. We set all that up. Cool. We set out how much we want to pay for a click, what times of day we want to advertise, the whole thing. There's lots and lots of targeting. And then Google goes out into being Google and says, I need to now match your criteria with people that are making keyword searches that are relevant to you. That takes a little bit of time. Cool. So they call that the learning phase, where it's learning about your product and your things you sell, and it's trying to find good matches. It's not just going to go out there and find anyone. It has to meet the criteria. Cool. Depending on your budget, you're only going to appear in a certain amount of searches in those 5 days, like in that learning window. So if you make changes too early without having data in the system, it's going to have to relearn. So this does depend on your budget. So if I can pump a ton of money into a Google Ads campaign early on, I'm going to get a bunch of data early. Most small businesses don't have huge advertising budgets to get a bunch of data fast for that learning period to go quickly. I would challenge this, whatever the slightest change is made, I want to make very few changes. I want to get data in the system. So typically with a small business, we're waiting 2 weeks. We're evaluating that data, going, okay, what were our wins, what were our losses? Then we're making changes according to the data that came in. So what were the keywords that we were showing up for? Did these people actually buy the product? Was there a problem with our conversion? What was going on? I'm gonna make changes. I'm gonna run it another 2 weeks, and that cycle will go on forever, and that's how the campaign gets refined. We should not be looking at that every minute. It needs time for people to actually discover you. So in our world, we call that inventory. There's only so many people making that search based on who they are. So there's 1,000 potential customers making that search a day. That's the total amount of inventory we can buy as advertisers. That's it. Based on our competition, we might be competing against a whole lot of people. So we're only going to get a small chunk of that inventory will go to us. So if I only have that small percentage of inventory, I can't make good decisions without having a little bit more time to spend. It doesn't mean we spend more money. Again, Google Ads, we only pay when there's a click. So we might only be generating 50 clicks a week that we're paying for. Cool. Is that enough to actually make a decision on changing the campaign? Maybe, maybe not. There are lots of things that don't kick it back to the learning phase. So if we want to change, maybe there's like a mistake in our copywriting, or maybe there's like we want to add something else. So maybe there's some keyword targeting we want to change. Not everything kicks it back. So there's big changes make it relearn. Small changes do not. So yeah, like fix the typo. If there's a typo, yeah, fix it. If there's something like actually wrong with it, don't worry about that. But again, we want to give it time. We want to give it time. Cool, I'm leading with this. Why is that I can't get it at 600 views on my shop? Okay, cool. That is my answer for that. So like again, and then Google Ads, it's an entire profession. Like advertising is a profession. I know as small business owners, you're probably wearing a lot of hats, so you're gonna have to do some things yourself. This is one thing where I'd say like you might need a consult with somebody. I'll put some information at the end. You might need some help making sure that this is set up right. This is where like the risky stuff in business comes in. Like I need you to be the business owner and probably not the advertiser. I'd focus, if it's not one of your strengths, I would say as a business owner, get it off your plate. If it's not a strength, you're gonna have to find a way to outsource it. Get it to someone else. I don't do my own dentistry. That's the example I always use. I'm not a dentist. I go to the dentist. This might be one of those times where you might need some outside help there to actually get it done, especially if you're spending money. Just noticing some questions in chat. Your pet culture and Princess Link. I would love to answer those questions. Throw those in the Shopify forums. I'll answer them for you right there. They're good questions. Put them on that link. I want to make sure all of this ends up on Shopify because in the future, there's not going to be too many people that are going to go back into this Twitch stream and read it there. But those are good questions. Those are very good questions. Next one up. Okay. Let's put this on the screen so everyone can see it. Cool. PNTHR Tech. If I have set up a referral network for my Shopify store, would this be organic marketing while still having incentives for paid commissions for sharing their link with potential customers? We'll get into that. People need to sign up with a PayPal account email to get their customer referral link before any future customers generate their commission for introducing them into the website. Okay, this is definitely falls under paid. This is what's called referral marketing. This is just like a commission sales. So what is done here is I've got a referral network. People get custom links. You're going to hear this all the time. You're going to hear this on your podcast. Use code, whatever XYZ123, and you save 15%. You'll hear this with the VPN companies. You're going to hear this with the nutrition companies. Everything. That's referral marketing. This is definitely under the scope of paid. This is not organic. This is definitely paid. Organic is when there's no money. Organic would be like SEO. All of the value stays in the company. So you're gonna pay. SEO would be organic. There's a lot of like traditional things that are organic, internal contests, things like that, promotional stuff that way. Organic marketing is like writing a blog. I'm gonna write a blog and I'm gonna have people find it, and then I'm gonna build trust. Organic marketing can be things like you having a YouTube channel, and I'm gonna put out content around my product that way. So this referral marketing is definitely under the paid category. I am paying someone to generate sales. I am paying Google to generate sales. I am paying Meta to generate sales or interest. So paid. There's nothing wrong with this strategy. So referral marketing is super, super popular. So a lot of consignment stores do this. This happens all over the place. I'm going to have someone, sign up with PayPal. I'm going to give them a custom discount code, or I'm going to give them a custom link so that they can promote my business as they see fit. Cool. Yeah, super popular in the e-commerce world. Super popular in a lot of industries. Nothing wrong with it at all. I would say, yeah, I would reward your big sellers big time and just keep them really happy and keep them flowing in. Yeah, good question. That's how that one shakes out. On to the next one. Don't do that one. Phone network, soap. Don't do. This is a really big one. We're gonna jump into this one. Okay, this is a really big question. We're gonna try and go through this a little bit. I'm gonna leave this on screen for a little while. Okay, Travis JS. Cheating the system. 10 questions packaged as one. That's totally fine. I'm gonna answer them one at a time, so this actually works. Can you explain the difference between paid organic marketing and simple paid and organic? Yeah. One is I'm not paying a platform or a person, and the other one is I am. So the example that I just gave before would be I'm writing a blog, and that blog is going to attract people to my website, and they're going to read it, they're going to learn something, they're going to become interested in my company, and I'm going to generate interest or sales that way. So typically that's like SEO, that is internal to the business. So I'm spending money on the business. Paid would be I'm spending money with Google or Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever, that I'm paying to generate interest, or I'm organically getting interest by my business activities. That's the big difference. There are many things under each one. So like referral marketing is paid. Like there's a whole bunch of different streams, but those are like the two arching categories, paid and organic. Cool. How do the goals of paid and organic differ from organic marketing? Okay, great. Paid is a little bit different than organic. Paid, I need a return on ad spend, a ROAS, ROAS. So if I paid $1,000 to Google, how much money am I generating? Because once that money is spent, I'm not getting any money back. It's done. The dollars are gone. Did I get value or not? With organic marketing, I built the blog. I built the YouTube channel. I've got that video live. It will continually benefit me into the future. We've got a YouTube channel and it still gets views. It gets views after the video is created. So one is a short-term strategy. So normally paid marketing is a short-term strategy where it's a finite amount of things coming into the business for the amount of money going out. On the organic side is I might have that video alive for a long time, as long as it stays true, and it will compound and give me more and more and more. So most small businesses do need the quick wins because I do need to generate revenue. And then on the organic side, I should be thinking long-term. Thank you. I should be thinking long-term because I want my business to succeed into the future. So there's definitely different goals. Different businesses have different goals. So like if I'm running a drop shipping business or if I'm running something in the clothing space and I have to sell because it's like, it's winter coat season coming and if no one's buying winter coats in June, there's different strategies around that. But big differences in overall in how we measure organic marketing versus paid marketing. Cool. What are the main advantages and disadvantages of each? Kind of broke that down already. Short-term versus long-term. What would you like to have? I'm going to pay for the YouTube video once. I'm going to have it for a long time. Do I want to pay Google for every single lead coming into the business, or do I want to pay Meta for every single lead coming into the business? I'm going to have to start to gain some traction. So there is advantages and disadvantages to each. I'm going to get into a budgeting question here. So the main advantages and disadvantages with organic and paid come down to budget. Small business owner, you've got two budgets. I've got time and money. I've got so much time budget, I've got so much money budget. How am I using my time budget? Is it generating social media content? Is it building, so just think about it, it's my time, it's not my money. I can be building reels, I can be building a YouTube channel, I can be building a blog, I can be forming partnerships with other people in the space, I could be attending events and learning things, I could be doing a whole bunch of stuff with my time. Now what am I doing with my money? So typically I want to be maximizing both of those budgets based on how much I have. And there's only, I can't do Google ads with time. I have to use money for that. So there's going to be advantages and disadvantages for each based on where you are at in business. And what type of business you run. So if it's like super seasonally and we need to like sell a whole bunch of lawn furniture like in the summer and running up to the summer because no one's buying lawn furniture in December, yeah, maybe we really have to focus on all of our money budget really, really early in the year, and then all of our time budget later on. You can imagine how complicated that gets based on the business model. In what situation should I invest more in paid marketing versus organic? Again, right into that. There's going to be timing factors, the type of business you're running. So like maybe I've got no inventory. So great, like I have to turn this off. Maybe I get some pre-sales. It really depends on you. I would follow what the industry trends are. You can use some Google tools to actually figure out like when people are searching for things. And I need to use my time budget and my money budget according to when I can actually attract the best type of customers. And that really depends on demand. So if you think back when I told you about inventory, so I'll say it again because this clip will be a standalone. Inventory, if there are 1,000 people making that search, that's the inventory. There's no more people. Like we can't invent demand. There's 1,000 people making that search. In busy season, there might be 10,000 people making that search. I need to use the money when it makes the most amount of sense, where the most amount of customers are shopping. Like again, they're gonna sell more ice cream on a hot day. You're gonna sell less ice cream when there's less people walking around outside. I need to use my money when it makes sense to use my money. I need to use my time when it makes sense to use my time. So very, very different. How do the timelines differ between seeing results with paid ads versus organic growth? This is a great question. So paid ads, we should be seeing results very quickly. Very quickly. So I mentioned in a previous question about the learning period with Google. You're not going to get results day one. As soon as you press the Google ad go or the Meta ad go, it does take some tweaking. You're going to have to refine the campaign. It's not like printing money where I just get to set up the campaign and I get immediate sales. That's not how this goes. But fast. It will be a lot faster. Organic growth depends on how we're actually using our time budget. So if we're writing blogs that we know are in demand, if we are writing articles that are helping people find things, if we are creating YouTube content that is highly searched, I'm going to attract visitors very early on. Typically, that's more like a 6-month endeavor. I need to be doing that consistently for 6 months. I'll go back to my dentist analogy. If I only brush my teeth once a week, my teeth will fall out. I need to brush them 2 or 3 times a day in order to have healthy teeth. And that's healthy marketing. I need to put out a video on a consistent schedule based on my time budget all the time. So it really depends on, do I have 6 months worth of time budget to build out a video library, to build out a decent social media, to build out where the platform's doing some heavy lifting for me? Maybe, maybe not. The paid ads are a supplement for that. So I need to attract early sales, early adopters, things like that with the paid side. And organic side, I need to keep people coming back for more. So, cool. What role does content play in organic marketing compared to paid? Okay, it's like all the difference. So paid content is flashy. It's gonna allow me to stop. Like great. It's got stopping power in my feed. It's going to catch my attention like that. It's going to be like the flash in the pan. I need the click. The website will handle the rest. My ad needs to convert. I'm looking for a high conversion rate through the ad. So high CTR through the ad. It's doing its job. It's getting people off the platform into my website. Great. Content in organic marketing is not flash in the pan. It is high quality content. I want to spend 4 minutes reading the thing. I don't want to read your content for 4 seconds and get bored and then go, this is completely off topic and it's generated by AI and clearly this brand doesn't know what it's talking about. I want the organic marketing to be great. I want it to be expert led. I want I'll put an example in real world example in organic content. When I go, there's a cheese shop around the corner from my house. When I go to the cheese shop, I'm typically talking to the owner. And I'm going there for like $25 worth of cheese, and I end up spending an hour chatting to the owner because the owner is fun to talk to. The owner is great. That's organic marketing. I've got nothing but good things to say. Shout out to Paulette's Cheese Shop. She's freaking awesome because every time I go in there, the content's good. And that should be like on your website as well. The content keeps me there. So paid needs to get my attention quickly. Organic needs to hold my attention for as long as it possibly can. So high quality content that's expert led, that's super relevant. I need the heavy things. So there's an activity that you can run in your business, very easy, free. You get a clipboard, and anytime a customer asks you a question, you write it down. You write down the question, and at the end of the month, you tally them all up. Here's all the questions I got asked, and then I can actually start building content to answer those questions. So instead of having one-on-one conversations, I can have one-to-many conversations where I can say, hey, this was I got asked this 12 times this month. I better do a better job explaining how things go. And that content will help everyone. And that's something that'll help your onboarding, that will help your product, everything. That'll help everything. So the content plays a huge role in organic marketing compared to paid. Totally different. Totally different. How do you measure success in paid campaigns versus organic? Okay, paid campaigns. This is Travis. You're getting some good questions in here, Travis. Good shout out to you. So how do I measure success in paid campaigns versus organic campaigns? Okay, one, the paid campaign ROAS for once, return on ad spend. We spent $1,000. What value came back? Cool. We're going to look at all of the conversion types. So how many people purchased, how many people shared, how many coupons got used, how many email signups did we get, how many phone calls did we get to the business, all the things that our money got. So how many impressions, how many clicks, all of the things. It's because the campaign ran for a week. We spent $1,000. I need to measure what happened in that week. Cool. Organic, totally different. That blog post is now live. We're going to take a look at going, well, month 1, there's only a couple of views. Month 2, there's even more. Month 3, there's even more. Month 5, there's even more. So it's potentially way more, but slow to start. So the actual organic campaigns are completely different metrics. I'm not going to have a bunch of clicks from my organic campaign in month 1. Won't happen. But by the end of the year, I'm going to have lots. And I will have not relied on anyone else. So if you were to sell the business, that blog post goes with the business that's still generating value on month 44 because people are still reading it. They don't get to sell the ads campaign. You'll get the data, but you won't get to sell the results of the ads campaign that happened on month 1. So big difference. Typically organic campaigns where you're building a blog or you're building a video library, you're building things like that, we're measuring them in going long-term success. There is not a ROAS of like 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1 in that month. We're looking at, does this have an ROI of a year? We spent how much time doing it? Will this be fully paid off in a year? And I'm now generating money on month 13 through it. That it's way more long-term than that. Is one typically cost-effective way? Is one typically more yes, in the long run, organic. If you are building content that people want to read, that is relevant to the market, that is relevant to your target customer, it is much more cost-effective to do organic marketing if you can stomach the fact that it doesn't yield quick results. Big time. We have YouTube videos and photos that we put on and that generate millions and millions and millions of hits, and we built them 3 years ago. And we don't even think about them anymore. They're online. They just work great. So the most cost-effective thing is to think long-term. There are very few businesses where short-term thinking wins. There are lots, there are some, but in business, I want long-term thinking. I want us to invest in the future of the business, not in the present of the business. If you're in the present mindset, it's that scarcity mindset, you're probably not doing well financially, and you have to break that mindset out and go, this business needs effort to be put in to generate in the future. There are very few businesses that you can just run and they generate cash today. Hard to, especially in e-commerce now. It's not 2005, it's 2025. This isn't like I have a store, I get $1 million in sales in the first month. Well, it will not happen. Based on my type of business, branded apparel and custom apparel, would you recommend focusing on paid, organic, mix of both? Yeah, mix of both, 100%. So like let's put it, paid. I sell branded apparel. So I'm sponsoring hockey teams, I'm sponsoring soccer teams, I'm getting my clothing out into the world, and I've got my warm-up jerseys. I'm gonna get 1 million photos of it. It's gonna look great. It's gonna fill my social media up. I'm gonna get a bunch of likes from the parent. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of early wins because I need content. I need like people to actually see it. I'm gonna go figure out where I can put my branded apparel in the world, where I can check off a few of my marketing boxes. Cool. So like, I'd go get in a bunch of sports teams. I'd go to a bunch of schools. I'd go to a bunch of things going, hey, can I do branded things for activities where I know that I can get a bunch of photography and video and testimonials and everything like that to try and kickstart this? Cool. So that would be like a mix of paid and organic, where it's like I'm going to form the partnerships with the school or the hockey team or whatever I can do. Cool. And I might need to pay for that sponsorship. I might need to donate clothing. I might need to do something, so it's probably paid. On the organic side, I'm gonna go and actually talk. I'm gonna go and say like, great, this is how we make our product. This is why people love it. This is like, check out this cool thing where this goalie's making this save, where they've got like my branded, my jersey, whatever they're wearing. And I'm gonna go and try and attract businesses with both. So like again, time budget plus money budget for a new business owner, I need to have both. Must have both. If I have no time as a small business owner, you better have lots of money, because like something has to give. And if you've got lots of money, well, congratulations, you've got lots of money. I'm now trying to free up some of your time. So based on that, I need to have both, and I need to do what is going to make the most sense in with the demographics you're working on. And I would need to know more about the apparel and like, are you selling hoodies? Or are you selling socks? I don't know what you're selling, but I would go to where people need socks and hoodies, and are you selling sporting goods, things like that. How can I make sure my paid and organic marketing efforts complement each other instead of working separately? Okay, that's just like a good marketing strategy. So I would actually, this is where I need to know a lot more about your business. I'd have to say, okay, great. What is the strategy? So typically when we're building marketing strategies, we have two indicators. We have leading and lagging indicators. So a leading indicator is something that we do ahead of time. So a leading indicator would be like, I'm gonna go out and create a bunch of content, and I'm gonna create 25 pieces of content so that I can post this month. So my leading indicator is create 25 posts. My lagging indicator is, because I haven't posted them yet, but I spent the time doing it. My lagging indicator would be, I'm not gonna see results until later, until after people have seen it. So I would create both things. So partnerships, we don't like, I wanna form 5 partnerships. Leading indicator, I need 5 partnerships every month. That takes time. The lagging indicator is money. They're going to purchase, or I'm going to get referrals out of those partnerships later on down the road. So based on that, I need to find leading and lagging indicators that mix with both a paid and an organic strategy. Good questions, really, really on topic. Thank you. I'll drop some stuff at the end if you want to reach out later on. Like, yeah, very, 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 very good questions. I'll kick it back to here. Lemmy's in chat. Look at that. It's an old timer. Shout out to Lemmy. Just gonna have a little sip of coffee here. I've been chatting. That was a great question. That was like 10 big questions. Okay, we are on to the next one. Okay, Jerry 47, you're a Shopify. How do I get more traffic? Okay, super general question. There's a whole bunch of things that you can generate to get more traffic. So very straightforward. A traditional business. I run a traditional business. It's a sandwich shop, it's a barber shop, it's a clothing store, whatever. I'm gonna get all kinds of traffic because people will be driving by, and I'll have a sign, and like if the road's busy, I'm gonna get like 1,000 people a day driving by my business, and they're gonna see like Matt's, whatever, clothing store. Cool. So online, we get no drive-by traffic. There is no drive-by traffic. We have to go hunt for every single piece of traffic that we need. So based on the type of store you operate, and based on the type of customer that you have, to generate traffic, I need to fish where the fish are. I need to go where my potential customer is. So I need to go. So one, I have to pick the right platform. So based on what I'm selling, is it YouTube? Is it Instagram? Is it TikTok? It's not all of them. You're a small business owner, you only have so much time. What platform has the most fish for me and the best fish that are most likely to buy it? So is it Pinterest? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitch? Is it Facebook groups? Is it in-person selling at markets? It's gonna be somewhere. So the more you understand your target audience, the easier it's gonna be to determine where that is. So based on your product, based on your target customer, and then I need to go and put that in front of them. And that's the difference between maybe I need to form a bunch of partnerships, maybe I need to do pay ads, like these are maybes now. But I need to go out there and put my product in front of them, and I need to get attention. That's it. That's how you get more traffic. I need to know my customer very well. I need to know where they spend their time, and I need to go fit in with that platform or where they are. So typically, before we get into digital sales, I want you to be very comfortable selling in person. I want to collect a whole bunch of like in-person testimonials. I will have an easier time selling product in person where they can touch it, they can feel it, they can pick it up. There's going to be a whole bunch of advantages to selling in person that we don't have online. Online, we just have video, like we just have visual assets. There's no sense of taste, there's no sense of touch, there's no sense of smell, there's no nothing. I just get visuals. And if I don't have good images, then I'm pooched. So in person, they can feel the quality of the product. You can actually talk to them. We can actually learn a bit about what the customer values. And then I can take that information and bring it online, and my audience will expand. So how do I get more traffic? I go to where the fish are, fish where the fish are, go to where my target audience hangs out, and then I have to learn a bit what actually drives them. Big time. Next one. Oh, Musa again. Musa, how to create good conversations using meta ads. How to create good conversations using meta ads? That's difficult. That is very difficult. Good conversations through paid advertising is very, very difficult. Typically, good questions come through organic more than paid. There are simple things like, you can have a chatbot on the site, things like that. Normally, we're trying to prompt people with something. So like before they've invested in your product or in your brand, they don't care. When I'm evaluating an Under Armour shirt versus Nike versus Adidas versus Champion versus all of them, I don't care. I don't have I'm then going to start my evaluation process. I'm going, okay, let's touch the fabric. Let's look at the price. Let's look at where it's made. Is this one going to shrink when I put it in the dryer? And then I'm going to start to care. So creating good conversations with an ad is very difficult. I would honestly say, why would I want? So like, there's lots of businesses that do this, depending on what type of business they have, and it depends on what you're selling. So if I was selling software and I need to book a demo and my ads are saying, come book a demo. It's it's going to take 20 minutes. We're going to show you all the values of here and there, and I'm going to have you sign up. That's going to lead to good conversations because you're meeting with a person. If I'm pushing people to a product page where the ad is leading to a kitchen chair, there's nothing to talk about. Look at the kitchen chair. It looks great. Here's how tall it is. Here's how sturdy it is. Here's our warranty. Here's how it looks in the dining room. Great. There's nothing to converse about, especially with the brand and the customer. Unless I'm going to say like book a meeting with a designer, book a meeting with an interior decorator, book a meeting with whatever, learn how to style your home right, I'm going to then have good conversations. So it depends on the ad itself and what the call to action is. So that you've probably heard that term CTA. If the CTA is to meet with someone to discuss needs and things, I'm going to have good conversations. If the goal is to sell a product, is why do I need to talk to you in order to buy? That is the question. I probably don't. I probably shouldn't need to talk to you. If I've got a Shopify store and I'm selling a t-shirt, or if I'm selling a soap, or if I'm selling some home goods, or if I'm selling like chocolate bars, I go, why the heck do I need to chat with you in order to buy my chocolate bar? That just seems like it's not like a good fit. Right. Bulk orders. Hey, you're looking to increase your bulk orders with hockey clubs or things like that. Great, you're probably going to need to have a conversation in order to make a bulk order or do something wholesale. I'm going to have a good conversation. So it really comes down to messaging in the ad and what you're trying to do. So good conversations come out of good priming. So here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about like the functionality of your home in order to sell you this kitchen set. We're going to sell you the thing. We're going to learn about like your family eat together, how many people are there, like yada, 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 how much space you got. Great, good conversation. IKEA does it. There's lots of brands that do the designer services plus the product and then get out of the way. But yeah, honestly, different ad sets in Meta as well. If I'm looking for a kitchen chair versus I'm looking for design services, is a totally different audience. But good question. Going back to the board. Oh, that's good coffee. I've got no new questions. I blew through all those questions. Give me a second. Really, really quickly. Let me reload this. If anyone else has any questions, I can think of, I will answer some of these questions in chat here. Why is it that, so this is from Princess Link, why is it that I can get 600 views on my shop in one location, but get no sales? Okay. This one isn't in the forums, but I'll answer this anyways. 600 views to my shop in one location, but get no sales. Okay, views do not mean sales. Views do not mean sales. There's I visit like a zillion websites every day. Most days I make no purchases, but I'm on like a zillion. I live on my computer. I'm on like tons of websites. So one, I have to validate where that traffic is coming from. So is that traffic in my target market? Yes or no? Is that traffic coming from a country that I don't even ship to? I can look into the Shopify analytics. If I'm not getting good analytics there, I need to look into Google Analytics. Where's the traffic coming from? Is it coming from a place that makes sense? Cool. Some of that traffic will be bots, and that's just normal. It doesn't mean like your website's under attack or anything. It's just that's what the internet does. There are people that crawl websites, there are people that are looking for information. That's totally fine. So was it 600 people all on the same day? Probably bots. Probably someone was crawling your site. Probably the website got hit by. That's fine. Not to be concerned. If it was 600 people over the course of a month, that's probably more real. And I'm going to look at a few things. So 600 people that we'll just use, they all came from Washington. Cool, they all came from Washington. What pages on the site did they view? How long did they stay? What buttons did they click? What was the bounce rate? Did they add anything to cart? I'm going to go and actually look at going, okay, well, I attracted 600 people from Washington. Now what? What did they do on my site? And I have to rely on the analytics out of the platform, out of Shopify and out of Google to say, what did they do? What was their user behavior like? If you're not comfortable looking at the data, you're going to need help. And the data gets thick and ugly quickly, but it's like at where we live. So like a decent marketer will love to look at what's actually going on the website. So is this the page they always leave on? How far down the page do they actually scroll? Is it male or female? Is it new or returning customer? Where are they coming from? What time of day? What buttons are getting the most attention? Like I can go and actually go, let's rework that page. Let's move the call to action up higher. Let's go and rework that. It's generating 600 views. Let's make those views do something. Cool. If you're not comfortable doing that, you're probably going to need some help. But that is, that's the best way to actually approach that. Groove Like a Pig, thanks for joining. All of this is being recorded, which is sweet. All of the answers are then going to get chopped up and put back into the Shopify forum. So you're going to see me a whole bunch of times with all of my answers for all of the questions in the forum. I'll put the forum link again. If you have a question, I read it off of the forum, I answer it, and then next week you're going to actually get a video clip plus a written answer of me on all the questions. So yeah, it is 100%. Okay, your pet culture. Again, I prefer to answer these questions out of the forum, so that's where they say, because like some of these questions aren't going to have answers because I have nowhere to post a video on them. So like, yeah, questions in the AMA forum, please, so that you actually get a good answer out of me. For a store that just launched, what is the best way to target customers in market? Okay, so I answer this one probably like a few times a month. Okay, think about a restaurant. Let's go back to the traditional. Let's leave the digital behind. Okay, a restaurant. I built this restaurant. I'm really proud of it. I'm gonna have like some early customers in. I'm gonna build some hype. I'm gonna do a soft launch. I'm gonna do a bunch of marketing. I'm gonna invite the mayor to do a ribbon cutting. I'm gonna do hiring. I'm gonna do so much stuff before the restaurant is even open for day one. I'm going to do a ton of marketing so that people know I'm in the city for my restaurant. That's what like a proper marketing plan would look like. And it's like, yeah, it's a lot of effort. It doesn't cost any money to call your local politician, that's the councilor or the mayor or whatever, and say, yeah, I'm hiring people in your district, come out and I need you for a photo op. Great, they're gonna come out. So like no money, that's all organic. I'm gonna do a whole bunch of organic marketing. Cool. Because there's nothing to pay. There's no paid ads to run yet. The business isn't open, there is no way to convert. Done, I'm gonna do a bunch of organic. I have to do the same thing with a digital business. So whippy, I opened my digital business, I paid my Shopify subscription, the store is now launched. That's just the front facing of the store. What did I do before the store launched? Did I tell a bunch of people that I'm starting a business? Did I tell a bunch of people that like, here's the products I'm selling? Did I tell a bunch of like people in my community that things are happening? I need to do that. I need to do that heavy. So like, day one is not really day one. I need to have like marketing in place long before that. Let's just say you missed that opportunity. Fine, we're open now, we didn't do that. Just treat it like you didn't. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna go back and say, hey, I operate a business in the community. Is there a chamber of commerce that I can talk to? Are there resources locally that I can go to? Are there community groups that would be interested in me? I'm not gonna turn directly to go, hey, we need to start like throwing money at meta ads the minute I'm open. I'm gonna go like, let's get the quick wins in the community. Let's get them. Big time. That's like, I need everyone locally to know that like there's a business here. Big time. Like if I operate a candle shop in a town, there's gonna be customers in that town that like candles. and elsewhere. But like if the people that are locally, if the locals aren't buying from me, that's not a good sign. So I need all of that involvement to happen first. So to target customers in the market. Okay, what are the best ways to target customers in the market? I'm gonna do a little bit of self-serving here. We actually have a product that actually does this through SprintPoint. It's called, we call them a user persona. I'm gonna actually put one on camera here. We actually kickstarted this a while ago. This is a SprintPoint business pocket journal. Inside, you can download all of the resources in this for free. I'm gonna put a SprintPoint link on the screen right now. I would download what's called a user, or buy it, a user persona. So if we were to work together, and if you were to hire someone to say, help me sell my product, we're gonna have a bunch of questions. We're gonna say like, tell us about your ideal customer. How old are they? How much money are your products? Who's the other competitors in the market? You're gonna have to onboard us into your company. Like that's what a good marketer will expect. You're gonna have to tell me what the competitive advantages of your product are. We are not going to make any assumptions. We are going to take that at face value. We are then going to go test that in the market, and we're gonna say, were your assumptions right? And then we're gonna refine the heck out of it. But we're gonna start with you because you should know your product better than anyone. So a user persona puts that on paper. And it's like, why do my customers like this? Why do they value money over, or safety over money, or warranty over, like again, like why does Ford say built Ford tough? Because people want a truck that's going to last. Right? Not a truck that's cheap. They want a truck that's built tough. Cool. Well, why do they want your product? We're going to get all of that from you. That user persona, typically businesses have more than one user persona. There's the primary user. Cool. There's secondary users, like there's a gift giving market. Would I want to give this to someone? Does this seem like a good gift? Do they value it? There's lots of people that aren't the credit card holder. So anyone that's dealing in children's products, I'm advertising sugary cereal to kids. Kids don't buy sugary cereal. Parents buy sugary cereal because they've actually got the means of purchase. I need to get the kid that wants the product, and then to put pressure on the parent, I need to figure out who I'm actually marketing to. Cool? That's how I would say what's the best way to target customers in your market is understand your customer like crazy. There's a little hack to this. I can look at all of my competitors. I do this all the time. It's fun. I look at all my competitors, and I can go to their reviews, and I'm going to want to read the bad ones. And your customers that you're competing against are going to tell you what they value right there. They're going to say the product wasn't made well enough and the shipping was bad, and they're going to tell you what they value. And now I'm going to make sure that my company doesn't make those mistakes. I'm going to turn that weakness into a strength. I'm going to do that all the time. I'm going to say, like, I know our customers care about the packaging and how this presents and the warranty and X, Y, and Z and customer service. And I need to make sure ours is better than theirs so I can actually just go, yep, I want all those weaknesses that our competitors have to be strengths for us. Cool. I'm going to refresh this page. I'm going to encourage people. Okay, new biz online. This is the one I just answered. Sweet. we're gonna clip that and put it on this one. So the one that I just answered is a newly launched business. What's the best way to target customers in market? It's a good question. It is a really good question. Understand who your customers are. I'm gonna put that SprintPoint link. It's a free download. SprintPoint is us. It's just like our version of how we get physical resources to people. I'm gonna put that link. It's a Shopify store. There is a physical and a free resource. The user persona is right here. I'm gonna put it on screen in just a second here. So there it is. That is the user persona. I'm gonna go and slide this over here. Okay, this is a user persona. You can just print it out. If you wanna download this and print it, it's completely free. Okay, we have to think, I wanna go back into that question. I'll share my screen. Okay, this is the user persona. It's free, you can download it. I just put the SprintPoint link in the chat. This is how we describe who our customer is. So what goals do they have? Are they trying to save time? Are they trying, like, again, when I'm looking for a car seat for my child, what do I care about? Well, I care about it's freaking safe. I care that it's not 4,000 pounds because my wife has to lug it around. I care that it's, easy to clean. Like what are my goals around this product? That's going to be totally different for a bicycle. It's going to be totally different for a chocolate bar. It's going to be totally different. So what are the goals? Am I looking for something healthy? Am I looking for, what is the goal of the customer? What attitude do they have towards purchasing it? Is this something like I've got no opinion on whether or not I pay my my hydro bill. It's like I like my electricity, I really do, but it's not a fun purchase. Is this something that I can have a positive attitude about? Is this something that I like to do? Is this a hobby? What is their attitude towards a bunch of things? The purchase, the industry, a whole bunch of things. What do I have to dissuade them of? What are their expectations of the purchase? Behavior, what do they do? Do they spend a lot of time using it? Is it like, I need a bicycle pump. I only use it in the springtime to pump up my tires on the bike, and then I'm going to put it on the shelf. Great. What is their behavior around the use of the product? Trends, personality traits. Are they a fast or slow decision maker? How many touch points am I going to need? There's lots. This is a starting point. And again, typically businesses have multiple user personas in order to attract that target customer. There's gonna be lots of people. There's gonna be grandma and grandpa and the mom and the dad and the kid with the brand new credit card. There's gonna be lots and lots of people. Your customer is not everyone. Your customer is really not everyone. You're not Coca-Cola, you're not Lego, I need to focus on the heavy hitting customers. Who are they? So they need to have the means of purchase. They need a credit card, especially if it's to buy it through Shopify or a PayPal account. They need the means of purchase, and they need to be interested in the thing. So the more I know about them, the better. So I'd suggest downloading that, print it. There is a physical resource as well. We'll mail you a copy. There's like a whole book that it comes with. There's lots there. Going back into this, but yeah, that's how I would start. Give me a second. Going back in this hyper window. Okay. Hi, I offer detail plus window tint services on my website. What can I do to encourage people to book appointments? Okay, cool. So you're a traditional service provider that someone has to take their car to you. I would love this in the forum so that I can answer this really, really well. But I'll answer this here. Great. You sell a service. You sell just like everyone else that sells a service. You're not competing against someone in China. You're not competing against a foreign market. You're probably not even going to compete with someone 3 cities over. It's great. The biggest advantage that you have is a local mindset. You need a Google business profile page. When I type in window tint services, I know I'm looking for a local service provider. That is going to be your primary tool. So a Google business profile page, I need that built out to the most extent. I need before and after pictures. I need amazing reviews. I need to go back to past customers. I need to get reviews on it. I need to have that profile built out like crazy. Every single local service provider needs this. It's the primary piece of SEO for everyone that uses Google. So when I'm looking for that service, that's what needs to come up. And that's free. That is a free tool that Google offers. There's one for Apple as well. It's called Apple Business Connect. I'll put that on the page. It's called Apple Business Connect. Give me a second. If I can find it. So this is Apple Business Connect. It's the same thing as Google My Business or Google Business Profile. It's like connect with customers, and it's like great. They're selling ice cream. Great. In Atlantic, Georgia, and again, I'm not looking for like ice cream delivery, but it's like cool. I'm gonna go get ice cream, and I need to be in front of someone that they're offering. Like again, I'm not gonna go and expect a delivery on a cone. But great, when someone is typing in to a search, whether they're using an iOS device or an Android device, I need to be there. So having a good Google Business Profile or an Apple Business Connect, that is organic marketing. There is no paid feature there. I need to attract good testimonials. I need to have that profile built out. That will generate a ton of value. So great. And then by nature, if I'm now at the top, they're going to click on the link. They're going to go to my website. They're going to book an appointment. They're going to inquire how much, what's the wait time, do you do this, do you do that, do you work on XYZ car? Great. They might want to negotiate the price or something. Cool. They might want to buy a gift card. They want to give it as a gift. But I need the interest first. That's how that happens. So there are those service-based businesses. It's really important where you're working with a local audience. We're a service-based business, but we've got an international audience, so it's a little bit different. So service-based businesses that have local audience, you need to use the local tools. Very, very, very important. And very free and very powerful. Very powerful. Going back again, the people that are putting this stuff in the the Shopify forums kind of get priority here. Back to user 877 for a dropship business. What's the best way to target customers? Okay, you are running the hardest business to run in 2025. Dropshipping is very difficult to run. So my challenge is what is the advantage to purchase from you? What is your competitive advantage? So I'm buying product from somewhere and I'm getting it to somewhere else. Is it just price? Is it speed? What is the advantage? I need to have that customer persona, the user persona, and your strengths need to be what they value. Those must match. So I need to know who my customer is, what they value, and then you as a dropshipping business, essentially, this is what's difficult about being a dropshipping business. You are a middleman. Your brand needs to define what value you add to the equation of commerce. So I'm allowing someone to purchase something that they wouldn't have purchased otherwise because they would have needed to have bought it in bulk. Or what does your dropshipping business offer in terms of advantage, competitive advantage? If you write your competitive advantage in the chat, I'll help you answer that question. But it's very difficult for a dropshipping business because if it's just price, very difficult. If that's all my customer cares about is price, I'm in the thick of it, big time. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, Lemma, yeah. The Google Business Profile performs all of them big time. It's like by far the best tool for most businesses, hands down. Hands down. For restaurants, and again, we talked about user-generated content a little bit earlier. Giving a platform where someone can post a picture. So how many people take pictures of their food? How many people take pictures of their stuff? Now, where does that picture go? It goes on the review, it goes on the testimonial, it goes on to social media. Like, I'm giving them the opportunity. Restaurants have like unique advantage because like people like taking pictures of their sundaes and pasta and chicken parms and all that stuff because it's fun and people like food. But I'm going to create that experience for everybody else too. Like if you're selling beer, if you're selling your bike part, if you're anything you're selling, if I can make it an experience to do, where does that review, where that picture go? It ends up going on Google My Business attached to a review. I'm going to keep going down here. For an online coffee business, is organic traffic enough to make money to start? Okay, very difficult. So like organic traffic starts at 0. I launched the website, whoop-de-doo, congratulations. It's now live and there's only 30 trillion others websites available on the planet. Like we're one of a bazillion. So I need to go and tell people that I sell coffee. And I can, like if I partner with a bunch of stores and I put my coffee on their shelves and they use my coffee in their brews and I can get some organic marketing that way where I'm not relying on Google. If I have some partnerships, that would be great. It'd be awesome. And you might be able to really drive just doing that. And that would be you maximizing your time budget that I talked about earlier, where like I'm going to a different coffee shop every day. The leading and lagging indicators that I talked about. The leading indicator is I'm going to talk to a new coffee shop every day to get my coffee into their store. Cool. The lagging indicator is my sales go up after all of that is done. But I need to go talk to 100 of them to get one to say yes. but like there is a way to do that. So enough, that really depends on like what your burn rate is, what your operating costs are. You could do it that way. You absolutely could. It would, like, there are lots and lots of businesses that we find survive and thrive on partnerships. And that's where they put all of their time and effort, which is sweet. Keep going down. How relevant is alt text for product discoverability versus organic Google search? Okay, yeah. Alt text is just one factor. So alt text, for everyone that's not familiar, alt text goes on an image. So I take an image on my phone and it's titled like 101100.jpg. It means nothing to nobody. I'm typically trying to rename that image so that like a search engine understands what's in the image or video. So I'm going to give it a title. On your website, there'll be a little box. So on Shopify, here's an alt text. Typically, alt text is for screen readers, for people that are visually impaired. If the page fails to load, you'll see like in the top left-hand corner, it'll be like image of, like, and that'll be the alt text. But that's a positive SEO signal for your website, is to have like your images and videos labeled properly. And that's also how you get your images and videos into like Google search, like into a search engine. So if I was to type in like coffee, nice bag of coffee on the counter, great. If that's what you're labeling your images, well, then I can get a bunch of organic traffic. Cool. So very important. So it's very relevant, and it's very free to do. Like, I would label all your images. I would just, like, it's best practice. Make sure your images have good titles. Make sure the alt text is complete. There's like not a good reason not to do it. There's really not a good reason not to do it. If you have like a massive website with 10,000 images and you've got a zillion huge product catalog, I would just go back and do like your top 10 bestsellers, like 10% of your product catalog. That's what I would do. I wouldn't go back and redo the entire website and make sure everything's done. Do the heavy hitters. Cool. Can I use Google Search Console to provide insights into potential customer search info even if I don't run Google? Yes, 100%. Yeah, Google Search Console, if anyone's not familiar with Google Search Console measures where your website lands in the search engine results pages based on a specific keyword search. So if I'm a bakery and someone types in donuts, great. Somewhere in the search I will be. Am I position 4,000 or am I position 24? It will tell you. Great, you don't rank for these words, you do rank for these ones, cool. It's not historical, meaning if you don't have Google Search Console on your website, it's not collecting data. So you need to have that on there to start. Very important for organic marketing to have Google Search Console running. Where am I at in the search? If I build a blog post, the first day I build this blog post or this article or whatever it is, I will be positioned 25,000 or I will not be listed because it's brand new. There's no authority on that page. Great. With time, I'm going to increase my ranking. And now that blog page is not position 999, it's position 42. And now it's position 27, and now it's position 9. And I need to work at building that. So I need to like have backlinks. I need to share that on social media. I need to have people read it. I need to do the work. I need to spend my time to get people to know that the blog post even exists. So very important to track those things. As businesses, you will rank for many search terms. We cannot be on page 1 for everything. We need to focus on the things that we need to focus on. So what do we want to be on page 1 for? And that's where our attention needs to go. So if I'm a bakery and I don't sell donuts, I don't care about donuts. I need to be known for my like great coffee, my great espresso, and my croissants. And I need to rank for those things that I sell. And I don't care about donuts. And that's going to be the same thing for your business. What do I need to rank for? And I need to really, really dive in and focus on. I need to create articles about those things, and it's high quality stuff. I can't just go to ChatGPT and have it whip up an article about, whatever and expect that to play, because that's what it's not going to work. It didn't even barely work for like the limited time that it kind of worked. It doesn't fly. But yes, Google Search Console is the tool to do that, big time. It measures where you are organically. And again, completely free. Have those Google tools on the Shopify store. fairly easy to integrate. You do need to have a Google Search Console account. It's not even going to ask you for a credit card. You need to have access to your domain. You need to plug the domain in. There's a little code snippet that goes on the site. It's not difficult. Shopify makes that fairly easy to do. Sweet. Right on. Are there any other questions? While you've got me here, I don't see any more in the AMA. This was a good conversation. It really was. I'm going back and I'm looking at this. I don't think I see any more. If anyone has any more questions, I'm here for another little bit. If you don't have any more questions, that is completely fine. Like I said, all of my answers are going to get broadcast. This is going to go on YouTube. We're going to put a timestamp where the question starts. It'll go right into the answer. You can click the link, and you're going to hear me chatting about the answer, which is like keeps it really fun and easy. And then you're not reading like a absolute wall of text. You're going to get text as well, but it's going to be a little bit more interactive than that. Absolutely, TNG 2025. Absolutely. We've been doing these for a long time. We've been holding AMAs with Shopify long before COVID. We used to do them in person in Waterloo, and then COVID happened and we took this online, and it's been going fairly strong ever since. If you've got topics that you would like us to spend some time and dive into, I'm all ears. So I'm going to be working with, I'm not sure if Jackie's in the chat, but Jackie is our Shopify rep. She's freaking awesome. Shout out to her and her team for allowing us to do this and putting the effort in to do this. It's been tons of fun. Jackie and I are going to be going over a bunch of topics for the back half of 2025. If you've got ideas or you want us to spend time talking about things, all ears. So if you've got any suggestions or topic suggestions, you can throw those in chat. You can email me. Oh, that is a wild question. That's a good question. I wish that was in the AMA. How do I do proper marketing on Twitter? Proper marketing on Twitter. That's hard. That's hard. Okay, let's talk about Twitter or X. Okay. It's changed a lot all over the years. You need to actually build. So if you don't have an organic following, typically X or Twitter is normally around thought leadership. So it's like individuals, not typically businesses, it's individuals sharing what they are doing. So they're involved in delegations, they're involved in politics, they're involved in comedy, they're involved with building buildings, there are lots of politicians, there's lots of there's lots of that. So you already need to have, if you're not already using Twitter, if you don't already have a big audience, I've got a great example of a brand that uses, I'm gonna shout out to one of our clients right now. They are on Shopify. I'm gonna do a big shout out to them. They crush it on Twitter. They really do. Let me see if I can bring this up. That's not Twitter. That's the one. Okay. Their founder, I'm going to bring this up. This is a clothing brand. I'm going to put 2 links in chat. I am happily to shout out these guys. They are freaking awesome. This is the brand. This is their Twitter. All right, there they are. Clothing brand. Effectively using Twitter. Cool. Selena, she's 27. She's got 113,000 Twitter followers. She posts what she does in the company. That's what she does. She has found her niche. She posts about her design. She posts about her creative process. She posts about a ton of stuff. It keeps people super engaged. Super engaged. They're a Shopify client. They sell all kinds of cool clothing. They do a great job. They do a fantastic job of things. They spend a lot of time in design. They spend a lot of time in development. They make all these clothes. This is like they do this. It's all them. So it's like a fully made clothing brand, like from scratch. That's what the behind the scenes looks like on Twitter for that. You're having to give people a glimpse of what's happening behind the scenes. You're acting. So like Carmico, well, you'll even say it's a brand, but like it's Selena. Like that's who runs it. Selena, she's 27. She's the designer of apparel, and then it's her posting, and she's a fashion designer, and she owns a clothing business, and she's killing it because she posts like crazy. Great images, great content, keeps people engaged. They got a million other social media platforms as well, but that's how they run. They really do. Very difficult to do. I will say it's probably it's probably the hardest platform to make work. Unless you know your audience is there, very, very difficult to make run. Lots of businesses are on Twitter, so like if you're selling like business resources, things like that, that might be better, but it depends on what you sell. Yeah, cool. For a toy company, TNG 2025. For a toy company, would Google Merchant Center help as it's an online company? Yeah. So Google Merchant Center is just how you get your products onto Google Shopping. Whether or not you're going to run Google Shopping ads or not, totally fine. There's great technology between Shopify and Google Merchant Center. Be aware, you do need the rights to sell product through that. So you're going to get asked for like a GTIN or a UPC code. Like you're going to have the rights you're going to need the rights to sell the toys that are offering. So like through Google Shopping, you need to have the rights to sell product. What happens with Google Merchant Center is it imports your product catalog into Google Shopping. So all of that data, you're not actually building ads with a separate ad set. It imports the data right from your product page. So if your product pages aren't good, your Google Shopping is going to not be good as well. If that makes sense. Back to user 878. We're going back to this one. What are target marketing suggestions for a dropship online business targeting a customer who likes unique pet products not carried in the big box pet stores and they don't care about price? Okay, very interesting. I have a question there is how does someone know what's carried in a big box store and what is not? I have a pet owner. I've got a cat. He's the greatest cat in the world. You can't convince me of it otherwise. I don't know when I would turn to an online business for a toy versus something that's not. So typically your brand needs to be something that provides something of value. So we haven't talked about value. I need your value. The value is uniqueness in product catalog. Who is the type of customer that cares about uniqueness? So early adopters maybe. So like I need to know competitive advantage. So like you bring product to North America from Asia earlier, like what is you haven't identified an advantage of your business. You've talked about the customer who likes unique pet toys that are not carried. What is your advantage as a business owner? What do you do? What is a strength of you? So like I'm going to go and shop with this business because they are good at what? That's what I need out of your question. A lot of t-shirt posts don't seem to get any notice unless you use a paid ad on social media like Instagram and Facebook. How do you suggest still getting views when the algorithm seems to be built to make you pay for ads? Oh yeah, Prince is like, yeah, the algorithm absolutely is not giving you anything for free, big time. So t-shirt posts, clothing is one of the most one of the easiest businesses to start, and it's also you're competing against large players and you're competing against small players. So it's very difficult and it's a global competition. You're going to need to find your niche. So like the Carmico example I gave you, that's custom clothing. That's you're not going to find that. The niche is very dynamic. It's not just a t-shirt. A t-shirt with a slogan on it is that used to be a hot topic. That used to be you used to have to go to a special store in your local mall to find something like that. And now with print on demand, I can get anything put on a t-shirt very quickly. So the question there is what is good about your clothing that people will care about? What is your competitive advantage? Your business, your competitive advantage. If we don't have a competitive advantage, we can't advertise. There's no strength. So it really comes down to you're running a clothing store. What is good about your clothing? That's what needs to happen. We need to hammer that home. And then at the same time, I'm going to go into places where I have less competition. Online, heavy competition for clothing. I'm going to go into a local market and I'm going to bring my custom t-shirts into into an actual local market where I'm not competing against Amazon. I'm not competing against 4,000 other people that are selling t-shirts. I'm not competing against like the local band that is in town selling merch. I'm in a different place. I'm positioning myself differently, but you still need to have that competitive advantage. So very, very difficult to do with clothing. Very difficult to do with food. Very clothing, like there's a million places that sell chocolate. There's a million, like again, so I have to be good at something. What am I good at? I started a paid campaign on Instagram, and it tells me that lots of people clicked on my link and got redirected to my shop. However, in Shopify, I don't see any of the traffic in my analytics as something is not right. So, very interesting. So there is probably the tracking mechanism. There's a little tag, it's called a Facebook pixel, that is probably not set up properly. Shopify and Meta need to communicate properly. So I believe that those clicks are happening through Instagram. Those clicks are happening. Like they're not going to be fraudulent about the clicks. If your targeting is set up, I'm hoping that those clicks are coming from like a demographic that you actually sell to, and they're not coming from like a foreign country that like you don't sell to. And then I should be seeing that you should be looking at your reports in Shopify under your, I can actually bring this up. Let me actually bring this up. You should be looking at your, I'm going to tell you exactly what report to look at right now. You're going to be looking at a few things. There's one report called Sales Attributed to Marketing. That is the title. Sales Attributed to Marketing. That's going to include Google, Facebook, Meta, everything like that. If you don't have any sales attributed to marketing, you might have total sales by referrer, which will be a link click happening through your organic social media posts, and that'll be, again, so total sales by referrer, sales attributed to marketing. Is there going to be another better one that is going to be for you? It doesn't sound like that is set up properly if it's not tracking link clicks, which is unfortunate. It really is. One of the challenges of doing it by yourself, you should have like tested this and gone like, I'm going to click one and I should see the data before I actually just open my credit card up to this. We see it all the time. Be wary. Google and Meta and all of them, there's a reason why they're like the richest companies on the planet. They have designed their systems to make it easy to spend money with them. Like ridiculously easy. It's like super fast to set up a performance max campaign and you're running, but you're not actually going to get the results you need. It would be a good idea to actually get a second set of eyes on things, making sure that like that your credit card is actually doing something that's effective. Again, lots of people click the ad, got directed to the shop. However, in Shopify, you don't see any traffic in the analytics. Something's not correct there. Again, it would be very, very, very bad if Instagram was to lie about clicks. It'd be a big lawsuit. I don't believe they would ever do it. Like they would be bad. So I doubt that. So the clicks are real. The data is not getting into your Shopify store, which means your Shopify and Facebook are not connected properly. You can also check a few other things. Like there's some, like we call them idiot checks, like check your date range on the analytics that you're looking for. Make sure you're looking at the right reports. Make sure that the landing page that you set up in your advertising campaign is the landing page that you're actually looking at in Shopify. There's like a few things there. But yeah, if it's not working, you're going to need to get some eyeballs on why it's not working. I think that is it. That is all. So big takeaways from this is we need to have a competitive advantage. We need to have like, what are we good at? And budgeting, money and time. Where am I spending my time? Where am I spending my money? And that's like the difference between paid and organic. Cool. And the last thing is we need to understand our customers very well. Where do I spend my time? Where are they spending their time where I need to go and get them? So there's no like magic in this. It's knowing your customers really, really well, knowing the platforms to the extent that they're operatable, and then refining the data that you get over time. Absolutely. Thank you. If there are any more questions, throw them in the AMA. I don't think there are any more. I'm just going to refresh my page here. Otherwise, this was lovely. You're all free to go. Absolutely. Look out for, if you want to give us a follow, if you wanted to connect afterwards, I'll put some information there. I hang out on LinkedIn. I'll drop you my personal LinkedIn because that's where I spend my time. If you want to connect with me, absolutely. You drop me a follow or connect there. Sweet. You can connect with 2H Media. You can connect with Sprint Point. Like that's where we are. We're online as well. Otherwise, you can find us online at 2h.media. 2h.media. If you want to book a strategy call or something like that, if you need some support in your business, we're happy to do so. I would give us a follow because we do announce all of our AMAs. So if you do want to be on the next one and get a lead up on when we're doing another one, we will be doing another one in September. Lots of stuff happening for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So that's probably what we're going to start talking about in September is like what the major holiday selling seasons look like. Does donating a percentage of profits increase sales? Does donating a percentage of profits increase sales? Do your customers care that you're donating money to a specific charity? So there are some companies that donate, or they give a pair of shoes, or they plant a tree, or they do something because their customers care about it. So if you donate, if you're selling like kids clothing and you're going to donate to like Kids Help Phone or something, or whatever a charity that's they might really care about where you donate money. There are 6 marketing persuasions. Covered this last time. There's 6 marketing persuasions. There's only 6. There are only 6. Here's a book. It's called Influence. I didn't write it. Cool. It covers them. Donating a percentage of sales falls under one of those marketing persuasions. If your customers care about that kind of thing, absolutely. You need to broadcast that like crazy. You need to say like, here's the impact our brand has. I need to get like 4,000 quotes from the CEO of the charity. I need to make it work. Like that's a marketing campaign. I can't just say, hey, for everything, and that's the only, like the communication has to be stellar to do that well. 2H Media does a lot of donations for all kinds of things. We don't donate a percentage of sales, but we donate to breast cancer awareness. We donate to a whole bunch of stuff. But we don't advertise that as like we're going to go and turn this into a money-making thing. It's like we're just good people, so we donate. So if your audience doesn't care about donating a percentage of sales to a specific charity, and if that charity is not going to work with you to then further help your brand expand, I'd say probably not a good idea of using that money. But that would be paid. That's not organic. That is a paid. That's like donating percentage of sales is exactly like referral marketing. What we talked about before. Like if I'm gonna lead, like because I have to give them, every sale has a cost now. That is 100%. That's a paid activity. Cool. Sigmund Health. I know you're dropping this in chat. Just launched my Shopify store, made a few sales, however my ad spend is quite high. What would you advise? Ooh, refining your target audience, big time. Refining your target audience. So depending on the platform, and I would go, you need to start looking for quick wins. What are you selling? Where are people going that they're looking for your product? If I'm relying on Meta for all of my traffic, it's going to cost a lot. So a few things to look at. How many click-through rate on the ads, add to cart rate on the website, purchase rate on the website. There's going to be some that we're dealing in percentages. So I probably at that point need to attract 1,000 customers to generate one sale. I need to increase those click-through rates, those conversion rates across the board. And again, I would rely less on ad spend. I would say, what are you doing with your time budget? However, my ad spend is high, what would you do? Advice? Yeah, you need to refine the ad spend. You need to refine the target audience. Typically, we're looking for a 5 to 7% click-through rate on an ad and a 1 to 3% click-through purchase rate on a Shopify store. If you're not getting 1% purchase rate on your store, there is something wrong. And it might be the store itself, it might be the wrong type of traffic. So 5 to 7% click-through rate on an ad, 1 to 3% conversion rate, purchase rate on a store. And if I'm not hitting those, numbers, it means my ad is too general. I'm getting too many clicks, and then I have to pay for all that, and then they get here, and it's the wrong traffic. So I get a ton of clicks and no conversions because it's the wrong traffic that I sent to the store, and vice versa. If I don't send enough traffic to the store, I'm not going to get anything here. So I need to play with both. So if you're typically relying on a discovery mechanism as a small business, it's very, very difficult, which is Facebook. If I have to put my product onto Facebook, I'm not saying Facebook's a bad platform at all. It's a great platform. It's still the biggest by far. Tons and tons of shoppers on Facebook, like huge. Your targeting is probably just off. The creative on the ad, it's a lot of thoughts to look at there. Okay, everyone, this was great. Thank you so much. I'm going to sign off. You will see me again in September for another AMA. I enjoyed a great conversation with you all. Please enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you soon. Take care.